just for about 2 minutes. First of all, on behalf of the organising committee, I'd like to welcome everybody here. It's great to see such good numbers of so many familiar faces that we've all kind of known throughout the 70s. And first of all, I'd like to thank Dick Lang and Dick was chairman of our committee, and all the committee for all the work they've put in over the last number of months. I'd like to thank Trevor and his staff upstairs for putting up a wonderful meal, and the wonderful staff behind the counter for their service. It's now, I suppose it happened about 5 or 6 months ago that we bring back maybe some of the teams of the 70s. And it's funny how you forget, as time goes on, all the guys you played with and the subs and even the competitions you won. We just discovered a few weeks ago we won a competition we didn't think we would. But I'd just like to thank everybody, and you're all very welcome, and I hope you have a wonderful night. And now the programme is, Michael Kine is just going to do an overview of the 70s, and then it's going to be followed by a small little DVD of Championship Man, and Policinas Costellosis is going to be featured on that as well. And I'd also like to say that what we've decided to do is that all the stuff that's been up on screen for the last few hours playing, plus the video of Championship Man, and plus when Championship Man arrives, he'll be doing some interviews with the people that are here. We're going to put it all on DVD, and we're going to give a copy to everybody that's been here tonight. So over the next month or two, we'll send you all a copy of tonight's proceedings, plus all the memories of the 70s. So thank you very much, have a great night. And now go to, oh, by the way, you left a disco at 1 o'clock if you're fit for it. DJ Jeff. I'm now going to hand you over to Michael Kine to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Martin. Unfortunately for myself, the farther back in the 70s I go, the better my memory is. And that tells its own story. I'm going to start off with 1970. I distinctly remember we played Gary Moore in a South Mayo quarter-final. It was a home game. Being ever the optimist, I felt we could win this game despite the fact that Tommy O'Malley was playing Sigerson football. But unfortunately, we didn't win the game. And I felt, of course, hindsight is great, but I felt that maybe a few switches might have changed the result. Looking back on it now, I doubt it very much. But at that time, there were no dressing rooms. We were sitting at an old ditch, roughly where the entrance gate is now. Some of the selectors, I forget who it was, came along, gathered in the jerseys, said, fair play to you, Michael. I said, listen, I'll tell you what you can do with that jersey now. Now, you could well imagine. I told them to put it in a place that the sun doesn't shine. And I said, I will not need that jersey again. I run a company. But later on that year at the AGM, it came along, all officers were elected, came along to the old chestnut, junior selectors. And somebody said, listen, that's gone out. There's a new thinking now, and it's a team manager. And someone said, what the hell is a team manager? Somebody that could just take the team, take it on its own, with the option of appointing selectors, but that's it. Forget about junior selectors. And of course somebody said, who the hell is going to take on that job? And some wag said, well, there was one man last year anyway, and he had all the answers, so maybe he'd like to take it on. You know who that was. And I was at that stage of my career where a challenge like that couldn't go. And without thinking 1 minute about it, which I regretted many times after, I said, yes, I will. And someone said, are you joking? But eventually I took it. And for better or worse. And I tell you something, we had some horrendous times. We were beaten in every single game in the O'Mara Cup. Now, when a lot of players miss it, and this was overlooked. Tommy Tracy was in semi-retirement, and the late Frank O'Toole was in a kind of a similar position. He always had back problems, and I said, if we could get those two guys back, Tommy O'Malley would be available again, and there were a few others on the horizon, and I was optimistic, like I said, ever the optimist. But Tommy Tracy did come back eventually. But before he came back, in one of the challenge games, Sean Lydon is here, so we played Tourmakeed. Down in the green, and God, we got hammered. And after the game, Sean O'Shea was there, and I said, thanks very much, Sean. We'll return the compliment. And he said, If you do, you'll have to get a different team. And that was hard to take. Hard to take. Because Tormakeedy at that time weren't a patch on the team that they have today. But my heart was down in my boots. But eventually we were invited to a tournament in Shrule. And Shrule were our bogey team. We'd be winning by 6 points with 10 minutes to go, and they get 2 rotten fluky goals or something like that, but they always beat us. But we were drawn in Shrule. In the first round of this, there were 8 teams in it. And surprise, surprise, we beat Shrule. And there was a great uplifting. But should I say that before that, Tommy O'Malley came to me and he said, "Do you know who's playing great football? Joe Heaney." He said, "Have a look at him, he's playing great football." So Joe was drafted in, and it was no harm. So we were drawn against Headford in the next round, and Headford had a senior team in the Galway Championship. So we were the underdogs, we beat Headford. And we're in the final against Garrymore. A year or two before they won 3 in a row, complete with Billy Fitz and Danny Jordan and all the boys. For 20 minutes, they ran rings around us. We were at sea. And suddenly we got a few scores, and Jerry O'Malley blotted out Billy Fitz, and we started to get a grip on the game. And as far as I can remember, we held Garrymore scoreless for all the second half. We were beaten by 2 points at the end. But there was hope. We saw hope for the future. The championship we were withdrawn against, Shrule. Said if we win this one, anything is possible. Leading well at half-time, and they got the fluky old rotten goal. Things weren't going too well. We're 2 points behind, and time was practically up. Free out the middle of the field, the one and only Tommy O'Malley came up, planted in the square, and Sean Murphy, I know it was his hand or his cap he got to it, but it wound up in the back of the net. And we're in the South final against Sir David Snout was Irishtown. I knew damn well, I knew in my heart and soul we'd beat Irishtown. Once we got over Shrule, I was happy. And in the meantime, the late Billy Feary said to me, "There's a new Christian brother up there in the Brothers. He has a great record with training teams. You should have a word with him," he said. "He might look at the team." His name Brother Hannon. So I went up to meet this man, who's very dour, a lot of you remember him. "Man, a few words." I said, "Would you like to?" "No." He said, "It wouldn't be fair. I know nothing about them at all. I'm only a stranger," he said. So I said, "How do you think you'll do?" I said, "I think we're going to win it." I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go to the South final, and if you win, I'll give you my judgment on the team." So we won. Tom Tracy had a blinder. You saw it up there on the screen. He was back at this time, and Frank O'Toole, the Lord wrestling him, Joe Heaney and Tommy. We had a full squad that time. So we were South champions. Now, what was significant about that? For the first time ever, Ballinrobe were in intermediate football. Prior to that, when Ballinrobe won the junior championship in '58, there was no intermediate grade. You had to go straight up to senior, and that was a bridge too far for that team. But that brought Ballinrobe into intermediate football. And by the time we were ready to play Ardenree in the county semi-final, the said Brother Hannon, the man of few words, was flying. And he played centre-half back on that team and marked the great Joe Corcoran straight out of the game. However, we were beaten by 2 points. And so we were into 1972. 4 withdrawn again in the first round in the major championship, Ardenree. We were going to get revenge on them that time, and in a game at Castlebar we were absolutely walloped. 1973, you won't believe, we were drawn against Ardenree again. First round, up in the pitch, Flanagan Park, winning, time almost up, and Damon equalised. Replay in Ardenree, beat. 1974, beaten by Belmullet in the semi-final of the Intermediate Championship. 1975, we saw it up there on the screen. Disgrace, Island Native. The least said about it, the better. 3 of their players were suspended afterwards, but as I said to Father Leo Moran at the time, they wound up with the cup and the medals, didn't they? 1976. Ballinrobe, 8 or 9 points up, halfway through the second half, and damn me, we managed to lose.